but it was because of what I already explained. So sorry. How are you today, guys?
Fine, teacher. And you?
Nice to hear that. I'm also fine with a lot of things to do, but here I am doing things. It is nice to hear you this week. Guys, I already upload the exercises to our platform, but the thing is that I have one that is stuck there. Tengo uno ahí atorado. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I think I'm gonna fix the problem because I'm really dealing with a lot of problems with my internet connection. I don't know what's going on, but okay. I would like to start by sharing you my screen because I want to show you our book. Where is it? Aquí está. There you go. No, it isn't. Wait a minute. Where is this? Mm, Here it is. There you go. I have decided to show you the screen in which we're gonna start working with, but I'm gonna show you the book, a little bit of the information that we may have in the book, because we're gonna start this week with reading strategies. And there is some information that is not very easy to get from internet, or there is not very easy to get information about unless the ITEP book or the ITEP exam. That's why I have decided to, instead of having the screenshots of all the whole course, it's better for me to show you a little bit about the book. And I would like to start by showing you the way in which we're gonna be working. You're gonna have the chance to check the exercise that I have uploaded, and you're gonna see that there is a lot of information from the text, and there is also a lot of information for the exercises, because I have included some pre-reading exercises and some other after reading exercises. So this is the way in which we're gonna be analyzing the passages. It is that we're gonna have to interview the passage, and to do this, we're gonna base our ideas on 3 different questions. We're gonna have, what is the passage about? Who or what is mentioning in the passage? And if there is or there are some problems or changes mentioned in the passage. So this is the way in which we're gonna be analyzing each one of them. Questions about it before I show you different information?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
No, teacher, I don't have questions.
Okay, so here we have the presentation about reading strategies. It is very basic. I think it is a topic we already have seen, but it is important to remind you that reading strategies help us to monitor the understanding that we have about a reading or the way in which we read something. Here it is. It is important to understand that we have 3 reading stages: the before reading, the pre-reading, and the after reading stages. It depends on the type of exercises that they are demanding us. In the ITEP exam, they are often asking us for after reading exercises, but I'm gonna be talking about the different reading stages just in case, just to let you know. So here we have the before reading strategies. The pre-reading strategies guide us to make important decisions about the reading, where the reading is taking place. and I'm gonna show you the steps. It is important first to set a goal or a purpose. We can perform by individually asking us, why am I reading this? And this method let us know the reason why we are getting the answers about it. So it helps us to focus our attention about it, how we'll be reading this stage. This here we have the activating prior knowledge. As you may understand, the prior knowledge is what we know about what the previous knowledge that we have about we are reading or about the topic of the lecture we have or the text we are having. So the readers can gain prior knowledge from previous lessons or personal experiences. It is very important to make some connections with our past knowledge or our previous knowledge in order to understand or to be more informed of, more aware about what we are reading. Ay, me estoy escuchando y sueno bien roncote, perdón, ando bien roncote porque he estado gritando muchísimo. So I'm sorry, I apologize for being so aphonic. Questions up to here?
No.
Teacher, everything is okay.
Yes. So predicting. I have decided, as I already mentioned, to include some predicting exercises somehow. Those exercises are gonna be before the reading, and this is because it is important to activate, as we already mentioned, the prior knowledge. There are several forms to predict information about the text. For example, every time that we have images, we can predict specific ideas, or sometimes we can get the main idea of the text just by watching the pictures or the images included in it. The images must include maybe the cover page or previous images inside the text. And in this way, we can make some connections about it. There are many other examples of the text that can include specific quick ideas about the text, and somehow we can get specific predictions or from specific ideas from the text instead of reading the whole text. So the predictions can be arranged from specific points or from some other even more specific aspects, such as the main idea. Here we have more other ways to increase the interest in the text. It is recommended to provide reasons why we should answer the questions about it. And I'm gonna try to show you. I don't know if you can guys see the document I have here. ¿Lo pueden ver? I think it's opening. I think you are only looking at my computer. I know it doesn't open. Bueno, les explico un poquito. I have decided to include some questions in which you're gonna be providing reasons about your opinion of the text. And this is because it will somehow increase the interest that you have. It is not required, or these type of exercises are not really demanded on our ITEP exam or in our ITEP book, but they are very important to us to understand ideas and to try to set future goals for applying new information in our reading tasks. So that's why I decided to include them. Here it is. I have decided to include these questions. It isn't. Here it is. about discussion, as an example, I can set this one that says, what documentary films will you recommend? And this is just to close the idea of the reading strategy. It's because they need to be like connected at all. So that's why I am mentioning this information now. Questions up to there?
No, teacher, everything's okay.
Okay,
Any
very good. So now we're going to talk about the new vocabulary. Even if getting new vocabulary can be seen as something natural every time that we are, I don't know, reading a text or listening to a conversation, it is another type of front-loading strategy that we have. I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was on last class, or yeah, I think it was on our previous class that I was talking with Abraham about some passage, and he was letting me know that it was pretty easy to get the main idea of it because he didn't have any barrier about the vocabulary that it was granted there. And in some of the examples I have given to you, you were kind of hesitating about it because the vocabulary was very enhancing. So that's why reviewing new vocabulary from the text will be enable us as readers to grasp what information we have to learn or what information we have to decode to somehow discover vocabulary or somehow guess for the meaning of unknown words. So it is important to take time to review new terms before reading. That's why I have decided to include the pre-writing exercises, because I'm gonna let you know what type of vocabulary is gonna be required. Here it is. So now we're gonna change and we're gonna talk about during reading strategies. These strategies are gonna be helping us to focus on the content of the reading, on what we are reading. There are many ways to get up to this point, but graphic organizers can be very useful for us. I know that we as testing takers, we don't really have the time to make a big or even not even a short graphic organizer on the book or in el cuadernillo every time that we are taking the exam. But it is important to take it as a training. I strongly suggest you that for this exercise that we have for this week, if you need it or if you think it is convenient, you can use graphic organizers to organize the information in the text. So in this way, you're gonna be use the information as an opportunity to get involved all the pieces into only one. So it will help you to answer the exercises that we're gonna have. As I already mentioned, I know that this is not possible to do during the exam, but it will serve us as a training. Then here it is, the monitoring test. We as students think that we have to check all the corresponding information and that we have to take our own readings, but monitoring a text is not a natural process. It is already demonstrated in research that it's something that it must be taught. So I think it will be a very useful strategy for us because sometimes we don't really have the time to read the whole text during an exam. And there is also an explanation given by the creators of the ITEP exam that says that the time and the questions of the exam are designed only to monitor the text, not to reading by the whole. I mean, only to monitoring text and extract this information. And that is why these setup strategies are gonna be helping us to extract only important ideas or only the necessary ideas to answer the questions and avoid the wasting of time. Questions up to there? Okay, can you guys listen to me?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes,
We can
teacher.
hear you.
Yes, teacher.
Es que los empezaba a escuchar como robots. So por eso dije, a lo mejor no me están oyendo, pero ya, I can hear you. Thank you. So, there you go. And here we have back again to the questionings that we have seen or that I have previously showed you about our ITEP book. During reading, the readings can ask and answer specific questions related to the author or related to the ideas that he have stated on the reading. And this is about the same questions. They are only written in a different form, but it is about what is the author trying to tell me? How could the author have said things more clearly? And why did the author is telling me this information? So it is important to make basically a very quick interview of the text before we proceeded with the questions. So in this way, the reading can think about the answers before writing them. And here we have one of the most important strategies we have. It is making inferences. Sometimes it is difficult for us to have all the information on our mind or to retain it. So it is important to make some inferences about it. And it is also important because all the information that sometimes the reader is giving to us, it is not very explicit. It is implied into different ideas. So it will be helping us to find the clues that the author is trying to helping us, or for mixing these clues with personal experiences or prior knowledge we have had. And it is also help us to figure it out what the text is saying or trying to say. Then here it is, the last step of reading, that is the after reading strategies. These strategies will help us to consider what the read is about and how we can apply it, all the information that we have had from it, how we can apply it to answer the exercises, que son en la mayoría del tiempo los ejercicios después de la lectura en los que basamos todas nuestras ideas. And here it is something very common, getting the main idea. So the main idea, it is like the central idea of the passage, and it is going to help us to have all the information without summarizing. So the main idea can be obtained explicitly and implicitly. So we have to be very careful with the way in which we read. It is better to us to make an extract by scanning the text and get the main idea. Then summarizing. Summarizing a text or a passage will help us to focus or to remembering what we are reading. It is important to help us to develop the process of getting the main idea and recall the information that is stated in our passage. It is also important to follow the set of questions that we already mentioned, the 3 questions about the interview and passage. And sometimes it is important to discuss information. En este caso, discusión no es como tan viable para nosotros porque no tenemos un espacio en the ITEP exam. We are not let to have any discussion with nobody. So that's why I'm not really focus my attention on this idea. Then we continue with reflection. It is very important to reflect what we consider important about the material we have. For example, how did the text improve my knowledge? How do I feel after expanding my knowledge? And if I understand what the author was trying to tell me during the reading of the text or the reading of the passage, it will help us to later on reject difficult ideas or avoid distractions. What about critical thinking? the critical thinking, and it's gained weight through the text and even with our own reflections. And it is important to get into account the critical thinking because, as I already mentioned, some of the ideas that the author is trying to give into us are not only explicit but implied. And sometimes for understanding implying implicit ideas, it is important to establish connections with our or previous knowledge and or previous past experiences. And it is also sorry and it is also important to consider different opinions about it. I think there is not more space here for consider others' opinion, but it is important to consider our own ideas about the text or our own reflections. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Sorry, I'm about to finish. Let's move on to the application. The application of these strategies, it is only about reflecting on our actions and or performing about the text. It will conduct us to having conducting experiments, creating essays, evaluating, and cross-examining. This is a lot of information for us now. No, creo que no siempre tenemos el tiempo de setting our ideas, pero sí tenemos el tiempo, a lo mejor después del examen, de evaluar nuestro desempeño. Y esto nos ayuda para eso. Les junto las referencias de donde la presentación fue tomada y les pido otra vez una disculpa que estoy bien ronco. I don't know if you guys have questions about it.
Any question? Don't worry. Don't worry.
Don't worry, teacher.
No, teacher, don't worry.
worry,
We have,
teacher.
I don't have questions.
Nice. Chicos, no sé si alguien pueda ver ahorita si tenemos ya el tercer ejercicio cargado en nuestro Google Classroom. Lo que pasa es que ya estoy mirando que aquí me dice que está cargado, pero desde mi celular no lo puedo ver. I don't know if you guys can see it. Dice exercise, mira, dice reading 3, task 5 and 6. No sé si lo pueden mirar.
A mí no me aparece ninguno, teacher.
Yeah,
Me
teacher,
either,
I
teacher.
don't have nothing.
Ni siquiera el 1 y el 2 les aparecen.
No,
No.
ninguno
No,
está ahí.
sir.
Ay, no. ¿Cómo creen? Bueno, es que miren, les voy a mandar un foto para que lo miren en el grupo. Ya lo tengo aquí y nomás me aparecen estos dos. Pero, ¿saben qué? Voy a volver a crear su material y en caso que tengan algún duda, por favor me escriben al grupo. Voy a hacer, ya les adjunté la foto de que ya está listo. A mí ya me aparece que están, ya no me aparece el 3, me aparece que el 3 está por publicar, pero voy a cargar otra vez y porfa, no sé si en el grupo, en cuanto a alguien le aparezca, me pueden mandar un message y me comentan, pues ya lo estoy mirando, ya lo puedo ver. Please.
Yeah, teacher, sure.
Yes,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher.
Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you have a very good weekend and thanks you all for being here. I'm sorry for my voice. I don't know what is happening. I don't have COVID, just in case.
It doesn't matter, teacher. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, so thanks a lot for your attentions, guys. It was very nice to hear you today. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. And see you. And
Thank
have a
you,
nice
teacher.
Teacher,
See you.
have a nice weekend and take care, please.
Yeah, I will do it. Thank you. Es que he
Drink
gritado
water.
mucho. Sí, voy a tomar mucha agua. He gritado mucho. That was
Okay.
it.
Okay, so relax,
you.
teacher.
Yeah, I will.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
I love you so much.
I love you too, Gladys. It is always nice to have you.
Thank
Teacher,
you.
have a nice weekend.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend. See you.